Good afternoon, guys.
Jeff Legwald, can you lead us off, please?
Yeah, I'm just curious, and already seen it last night in last night's game, but just the impact of an offense like the Titans getting you smaller on defense and then kind of pounding away at you in the run game.
Yeah, well, that's what NFL teams do, and we're prepared for both situations. We'll match them big, we'll match them small. You'll see it a variety of looks during the game.
Next up, Mike Liss.
Yeah, Coach, going to be tougher to be a defensive coordinator this year without Von Miller?
Heck yeah, you know, he's a really good football player, and that's a terrible break for him and us. But, you know, you listen to our players, and they're up for the challenge. You know, we're all going to fill in. We're going to make this work. And this happens in coaching. It's part of the landscape, and we're ready to move forward.
Next up, Arne Stapleton.
Ed, I know everybody's talking about everybody stepping up just a little bit to fill the void, but I'm wondering specifically, what have you seen in Jerry and in Malik and the way they kind of filled in last year? Have they kind of taken that a little step further so far?
Yeah, both of them, you know, are adding some rush. They're really good at setting the edge for us. We're confident in them because they played a lot for us. So, you know, they're into their second year in our program, so you will see a spike in their play. There's no question about it.
Next up, Ryan.
Hey, Ed, I got two for you. First one is, how has Bradley Chubb been moving around during practice this week?
Yeah, he looks like he's getting better and better. So he's right on course and had a good practice, you know, yesterday and ready to go today.
And the second one is keeping Bassey, undrafted free agent at corner. What did he show you during camp to say, hey, you know, he can have a role?
Yeah, you know, first it's, you know, our draft team. It's a compliment to them because they keep finding these guys in our organization here. And, you know, he came in here in a virtual meeting situation, learned our material, and then when his cleats hit the grass, you know, he showed that he could keep up. And, you know, he's got good coverage ability, he's got good strength, and he fits in well with our veterans.
Next up, Troy.
Coach, you just talked about the step up forward you expect Jerry and Malik to take. Fans are asking, where's the pressure going to come from? And do you benefit from a first game, a little bit of the unknown where you can be creative because you had a whole offseason to think about this game?
Yeah, well, it's a really good question. But, again, this is part of the landscape. And we don't like this when this happens to us, but we put all our energy into the solution. And Vic Fangio has been coaching a long time. He and I have been coaching 10 years together. We've had things happen to us, and we're ready to respond.
Guys, just as a reminder, please use the lower your hand function if you no longer have a question. Next up, Kyle Newman.
Hey, Ed, so game planning for this Titans team, probably a lot different than last year, especially in the passing game. What do you see from Ryan Tannehill? What are you trying to stop from him? And also A.J. Brown coming into year 2 here.
Yeah, no question about that. You know, they have a dual threat. You know, they have one of the best running games in football, and then yards per pass. They were on the top of the charts. They did improve since we saw them. So we have to improve as well. But we're going to have to stop those two parts of the game, the pass and the run, and we'll have to mix our calls accordingly.
Guys, time for a few more. Next up, Zach Stevens.
Coach, what have you seen from Michael Ojemudia since he's come back from his injury in training camp?
Again, starting with Michael, you know, he grasped our information through the virtual training that we had. Then when he came here, he showed that he could belong, fit in, and execute under pressure. He's a guy that brings you really good size. He can press, he can play off, and he can really process when things are happening in front of him.
Last two, Ryan and then Jeff. Ryan, go ahead, please.
Hey, Ed, Josie Jewell at inside linebacker right now. What kind of camp did he have, and what do you think expectations should be for him this year?
Yeah, well, he's been in the program a few years now, and he's been in our system now the second year and been through all our camps and so forth. So he's right on course. He knows the position really well, and we think he'll do excellent.
Okay, Jeff, finish this off, please.
Ed, I just wanted to ask you on a personal level, have you talked to Von and just kind of what was your message to him if you did?
Yeah, I have not spoke to him yet, and I always wait for it to settle down a bit. But he's been in contact with Vic, and you know, the message from Vic is, you know, our hearts are broken. This happened, but we're going to back him up, and you know, all setbacks are temporary, and He's had his surgery and he's now on the road to recovery.